Next on Eyewitness News at noon, the young boy who police say died after a terrible case of child abuse has been laid to rest. How his family is remembering his life. And dry conditions continue in Central Florida. What forestry agents are doing to reduce the wildfire risk.
And it is a sun-filled and downright warm midday across Central Florida. Tracking temperatures for your afternoon and an update on rain chances we close out the weekend.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at noon. Coverage you can count on.
The young boy who died from alleged abuse by his mother and her boyfriend has been laid to rest. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sam Martello. Xavier Williams' funeral took place yesterday in his hometown in Connecticut. As Channel 9's Daryl Matthews reports, his family is calling for increased awareness when it comes to child abuse. The Tavares Police Department wants the public to be aware of the signs of child abuse. The department wants to raise awareness, support families, and break the cycles of abuse. They say prevention starts with education, compassion, and community, whether it's checking in on your neighbors, supporting local organizations, or simply by spreading the word. The judge and the lawyers are set to meet to discuss legal motions before the death penalty resentencing trial continues for the two men accused of killing 6 people over an Xbox. A jury was seated last week for the resentencing of Jerome Hunter and Troy Victorino. 12 jurors and 2 alternates will return tomorrow to start hearing the case. Victorino participated in jury selection while Hunter declined. Their original death sentences were overturned due to changes in state law, and this jury will now decide if that sentence will be reinstated. State Road 408 is now back open after a deadly overnight crash. The Florida Highway Patrol says at around 3 this morning, a car was headed eastbound at mile marker 21 in the center lane. An SUV and another SUV with a tow dolly attached were stopped in that same lane due to a previous crash between the 2 vehicles. The drivers of the 2 vehicles involved in the previous crash and their passengers were standing in the roadway in between the 2 vehicles. Investigators say the driver of the car didn't see the crash and hit the back of one of the SUVs. One person was taken to the hospital and later died. 2 other adults and a 9-month-old were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. In Orange County, fire and rescue crews put out a brush fire near State Road 414 and Lakeville Road. The flames sparked the old landfill Saturday in Apopka. Crews monitored hot spots once the fire was contained. No injuries have been reported and no structures were damaged. The wildfire risk is high in Central Florida, and that's thanks to the dry conditions. The Florida Forest Service is doing what they can to keep fires from sparking up. Forestry officials say 80% of fires are caused by people. Mother Nature is next to blame, with lightning the number 2 reason for a wildfire. Prescribed burns are one way to prevent new fires. They help burn off the dry underbrush. Peak wildfire season typically runs from March to May. And conditions are still very dry around Central Florida, so we're going to get a check of our forecast now with certified meteorologist David Heckard.
Yes, and we still have a wildfire threat for the afternoon hours. In fact, the latest update from the Florida Forest Service now puts Marion County in this orange shade, which means a high fire danger, a smidge lower along the coastline. But all of us could potentially see a wildfire quickly develop here. That's why the burn bans are in place now for the vast majority of Central Florida. And boy, it is getting warm already. Just a few clouds around here as we look live over downtown Orlando. Look at this temperature at noon, already 84 degrees, with a light wind at around 3 miles an hour. No rain to track here in early warning Doppler 9, but as we move into the next couple of hours, it does look like we're going to be able to crank out a few very isolated rain showers. I think in Winter Garden, the best chance for this probably ends up being afternoon towards around 6 o'clock or so. But before the activity gets going, it's going to be warm. Afternoon highs in Winter Garden pushing all the way into the low 90s. I'll be back. We're going to pinpoint who has the best chance for rain the next couple of hours, and also the very latest on more warmth in store, Sam. That's coming up in the next 10 minutes.
David, thank you. This afternoon, the world is honoring Pope Francis. The Pope was laid to rest in a ceremony in Rome yesterday. ABC's Patrick Reevell reports the attention turns to who will be the next Pope. And that process typically takes about 3 weeks to pick a new Pope. A new study shows the U.S. could face millions of measles cases in the future. Coming up, the growing trend that is causing concerns for many families and health officials.
companies can be charging you more money than someone else for the same item.
Companies have profiles about us as consumers.
Action 9's Jeff Deal shows you how to navigate this surveillance pricing so you don't overpay the next time you shop online.
This is creepy and invasive and is not for our own good.
Monday at 5 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News. Enter to win $1,000 in WFTV's Weekday Payday. Watch Eyewitness News in the morning and evening every weekday and look for the keyword for your chance to win.
Start your day with live coverage of the local and breaking news happening in your community.
And with the major news from overnight, you'll be up to date on what's happening now and what to expect next.
Plus, with weather and traffic together every 10 minutes, be prepared for your entire day with an accurate hour-by-hour forecast.
And alternate routes to get you to work or school on time.
Get the vital information you need in the morning.
So you're a step ahead before stepping out the door.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning.
Tomorrow starting at 4:30 a.m.
Eyewitness News live stream, sponsored by Advent Health.
Never, ever stop reaching for what makes you feel whole.
A new study led by Stanford says the U.S. could face millions of measles cases if vaccination rates decline even more. Researchers say if rates stay the same, there could be 900,000 measles cases over a 25-year period. If they decline by 10%, there could be about 11 million cases. Vaccination rates are down in the U.S. since the COVID-19 pandemic. The CDC recommends kids get their first dose when they're 12 to 15 months old and their second between ages 4 and 6.
There are complications including pneumonia, including seizures, including permanent disability, and of course death.
The CDC again recommends those doses for kids between when they are 12 to 15 months old and a second dose following. After that, it says it gives them an estimated 97% immunity from the disease. The Claremont Police Department is looking for 2 people accused of robbing a person inside a Publix. Take a look at this video. It happened on April 19th, just after 1 in the afternoon. Police say a woman distracted a shopper while the man stole the shopper's wallet. The shopper says the couple took $3,000. Anyone with information regarding the identity of this couple is asked to call police. Central Florida residents were celebrating in the streets during the Florida-Puerto Rican parade. Next, we'll have all the sights, sounds, and food from Saturday's annual event.
Live coverage of the local and breaking news happening in your community.
And the major news from overnight, so you'll be up to date on what's happening now.
Plus, an accurate forecast to plan your entire day.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning.
Tomorrow starting at 4:30 a.m.
Central Florida's Chief Meteorologist, Tom Terry.
Severe weather is always just around the corner. So before, during, and after every storm, I'll keep you prepared and safe.
Your severe weather expert, Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Weather updates from Severe Weather Center 9 are sponsored by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
Thousands took to the streets of downtown Orlando to celebrate their Puerto Rican pride. Channel 9's Giovanni Diaz shows us the sights and sounds from the parade and festival. And it was a hot day yesterday. It's going to be another hot day here in Central Florida.
It sure is. It's going to be another warm day. In fact, probably even warmer than it was yesterday. But we also have a little bit of moisture that's kind of floating its way in, Sam. So we also have the threat for a few very light rain showers. Get to that in just a second. First off, live look downtown Lake Eola. Again, a warm day yesterday for the parade. And we are on track, definitely, I think, for the low 90s now in Metro Orlando. It's 84 the current temperature with a light variable wind at around 3 miles per hour. Other temperatures across Central Florida, really no matter where you live, it's warm. Even along our coastline, our sea breeze is going to be a little bit delayed here today. 82 right now in New Smyrna Beach. We're 84 in Sanford, 85 in Winter Haven, and 82 right now in Leesburg. Let's get right into future track here, and you can see our updated computer model still indicating some activity, potentially western suburbs of Orlando. And I think kind of the demarcation line for rainfall is going to be kind of along and to the west of the I-4 corridor. So if you live along I-95, it's going to be a dry day. I think eastern Orange, much of Seminole County, it's dry. But you get out towards Oakland, Apopka, Zellwood, you could maybe see a rain shower here later on in the afternoon. But rain chance is still at 20%. So the majority of us are going to end up staying dry. And notice the clock here by about 7. Activity moves a little bit further west. And I think it's going to be this corridor right here, kind of just to the east of 75, Marion, Lake Sumter, parts of Polk County. You're going to have the best chance for maybe a few downpours downpours here as we get towards the early evening. And meteorologist Alex Alisi will be tracking that for you on Eyewitness News at 6. This activity will be short-lived. In fact, by 10, 11 o'clock, it's over and done with across the area. And then as we head towards the overnight hours, quiet conditions returning. Ahead of all the rain, or the minimal rain chances, excuse me, it is going to be warm. Low 90s here in Orlando. Look at Winter Haven getting to 94. Same deal in Ocala. Cooler at the coast, but even here, it's going to be warmer than yesterday. 87 in Titusville, 85 the forecast high in Daytona. Now let's talk about Monday, where our rain chances really take a pretty big step up. Morning commute tomorrow morning looks fine across the area, but notice the rain and storms building in the Atlantic, and this activity will begin to slowly work its way towards us. Still dry in the afternoon, but you can see as we get towards 3, 4 o'clock, this activity really beginning to blossom. We'll go with a 40% rain chance on Monday, with the best chance for activity west of I-95. 7-day forecast, weekend always in view. Again, low 90s for today. Best chance for rain west of Orlando. If we're going to see any rainfall probably in the next 7 days, it's going to be on Monday. Then some rain possibly early morning on Tuesday. Turns dry again Wednesday, Thursday, and then some more rainfall possible heading into next weekend. Final weather check for you coming up in around 10 minutes. Sam?
David, thank you. We've been following the best deals from local businesses. Here's a look at today's local steals and deals. Magic fans are getting ready for tonight's playoff game. Next, we'll have a preview of Game 4 against the Celtics.
Breaking news can happen at any time in the morning, and Central Florida weather can turn severe at any part of the day. That's why we'll keep you updated and prepared before stepping out the door. Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning.
Tomorrow, starting at 4:30 a.m.
WFTV 9 Family Connection and volunteers around Central Florida are making a difference in our community. The Fran Garrett Memorial Golf Classic, hosted by Jess Parish Medical Foundation, drew a record sellout crowd with 244 players, raising over $85,000 for the Children's Center. Since 2011, the event has raised more than $800,000 to support local children and families. The 13th annual 5K Run for the Angels welcomes 700 runners to benefit Angel Flight Southeast, which has been coordinating free air transportation for children and adults with medical or humanitarian needs for more than 25 years. Make 'em Smile is happening at Lake Eola on Saturday, May 3rd. Join us and our partners as Nathaniel's Hope celebrates 23 years of bringing hope and help to thousands of Central Florida families and VIPs. Bring your family and join the fun, featuring games, animals, food, exhibits, and more. We hope to see you there. 9 Family Connection, serving the community for over 25 years.
Central Florida's Chief Meteorologist, Tom Terry.
Severe weather is always just around the corner. So before, during, and after every storm, I'll keep you prepared and safe.
Your severe weather expert, Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WFTV is brought to you by Publix.
Orlando City soccer fans are celebrating a big win against an arch rival last night. Now it's time for a final check of your forecast. Here's certified meteorologist David Heckert.
Hi, Sam. It's going to be a warm afternoon out there, and if you are heading to the Magic game, I would probably not worry about an umbrella. I think if we're going to see any rainfall, it probably ends up being off towards the west of downtown, but you can see it is going to be warm. 2 p.m. temperatures in the upper 80s. By 4 o'clock around tip-off, temperatures will be in the low 90s, and it's going to take some time to cool down here this evening. In fact, by 8 o'clock, temperatures down in the low 80s. 7-day forecast, weekend always in view again for today. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. Our best rain and storm chance going to end up being on Monday across the area, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We're going to have to watch those thunderstorms too, because they may have a tendency to create some wildfires. Something we'll be keeping a very close eye on Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Tuesday, maybe some early morning rain shower activity as a front comes through. We go dry once again Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe a little bit more activity arriving as we get towards Friday and the early part of next weekend. Meteorologist Alex Alisi will be tracking any rain showers for you coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 6. Sam?
All right, David, thank you. And thank you for watching Eyewitness News this afternoon. For more local news, sports, and the latest forecast, you can tune in to Eyewitness News tonight at 6. You can also head over to our website at WFTV.com for any updates, forecast, and sports highlights as well. Have a great rest of your day.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning.
Tomorrow, starting at 4:30 a.m.